Alright, it is April 6th, and this is the garden. I've been doing some work today. There's the onions from Sets with the drip tape. Doing okay. A lot of them are trying to go to seed. I break off the little seed pod. Those onions back there are doing pretty good. I thinned them out and actually put a lot of them right here, and they're all looking good here right now. You can see, they're doing okay. And then I got some little green onions. You can't hardly see them, but you see the little green stick deals. Those are green onions from seed, direct sown. And then again, my little beets and spinach and kale that got eaten up, and I replanted with a lot of radishes and double row. I replanted the beets, pulled a few radishes. They're coming in, the ones that actually survived, and they're doing good. They taste good. And so anyways, this is today's work. That's a 40-foot long row of bush beans, green beans. This is tender green, improved tender green all the way to the cup there, and then that's from the cup to the end is Blue Lake. Blue Lake bush beans from Burpee. White seeds, kind of funny. And then this here is my homemade trellis, because from there to the end is 40 feet of pole beans, Kentucky Blue pole beans, and they need a trellis. So instead of going out and buying, fancy dancy trellises and stuff that are real expensive, and I kind of don't have a whole lot of money to put into my garden, but I try. Just 5 8-foot tall T-post and 9,000 feet of poly twine, baling wire, twine, not wire, twine. And you just string it up, make yourself a little netting. It takes a little time, but 9,000 foot roll. I mean, that's half of it, the little orange one, and the other half's in the box. That'll last you friggin' years. So anyways, we'll come over here to my tomatoes, which I got 80 feet of tomatoes, 5 different varieties. I kind of hand watered them today when I planted them in the ground today. First up's Mr. Stripey's, then we got your Black Crims, and then your Brandywine Reds, then Cherokee Purples, and the back is the Brandywine Pinks. It's supposed to be warm. It's April 6th. It's kind of early to be planting this stuff for me, I feel. But I said I'd give it a shot. It's supposed to be 80s for the next week, so looks like we're gonna have a little bit of an early summer / late spring here. So get it in the ground and get them growing. So I haven't finished my trellis here yet. I stopped about right there. That's weeds. Yay. But over there is my peas that you see that black irrigation line going to, and they all came up pretty nicely, germination rates. But again, the birds, birds like to eat my peas apparently. I mean, I don't see any bugs on them, and it's pretty much a bird issue. Them just looking for bugs and pecking the seeds. You can see there are some angular cuts on them, leaves missing, half bitten off, because they're trying to get to bugs that are on the leaves, I guess. Little boogers. But it's a uphill battle. That's why I've had to do the bird netting, and it actually is very effective in keeping the little boogers out. They kind of get angry. They're mad because they can't eat my plants, but tough doo-doo for them. And these are onions that start from seed. You can see the little bulbs starting there. They're not very big, the size of a ping pong ball at best. But they're doing good. Just keep them weeded and watered and fertilized. And we'll come over here to the cabbage, or what's left of the cabbage. That whole row was full of broccoli and cabbage, but the broccoli and cauliflowers played out, so all that's left is the cabbage, and I need to get them cut and pulled out, and I replanted where it got ate up by the birds. I put in some radishes just because they're fast growing and they produce, easy to grow. And then whatever doesn't come up, as far as when the broccoli and cauliflower that I've hand sown out here comes up, and hopefully it survives the intense heat. But if it doesn't, then it's getting all pulled out, and it'll be for my squash. And that's, again, I replanted some beets and radishes because this was beets that got eaten up, and there's the kale that kind of got eaten up, but some of it survived, which is good. And I planted a little spot of radishes. That was a little blank spot, and these are more radishes. These are I forgot what they're called. They're like a globe type radish. And then I got my carrots, and they're kind of hit or miss. I don't think I'm gonna have to thin them out too much. I got a bunch of volunteer tomatoes in there. Those are cherry tomato volunteers that are popping up, and I had to pull them out. That's the way that one goes. And then back here there's nothing. It's just weeds. My beets got eaten up, eaten alive. Just sad, depressing. Those are onion flowers. Look like little Dr. Seuss trees. You see all the bees in there just working, getting some pollen. There's some other bugs in there. Beetles look like little wasps. And then we got potatoes, and my potatoes are up, and that one down there is doing really good. Those are potatoes, and when they get a little bigger, I'm going to hill them again, which is basically bringing dirt up to them to make more potatoes. Pretty decent sized plant, from putting them in the ground. And that's my junk pile back behind the onions. Don't mind that. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it so far. I got okra I got to plant yet, and squash, and then this is junk, bags of cans. I had a bunch of steer manure that was composted, and I actually put it into the rows of the beans and one row of tomatoes. So hopefully that'll help. Do a little experiment with the tomatoes, see which row does better, if the compost helped at all, which I'm sure it will. Compost is good for the soil. But there's all my little guys. The tomatoes were in there, they're gone now, and these are inside. Started from seed, and they're kind of wilting in the sun a little bit, but I'm trying to harden them off because they're going to go in there tonight. They're not going to be inside anymore. And those are my peppers that are still they're a little small, but peppers are slow growing. And yet, here's some tomatoes. I didn't plant everything, but a guy at work wants some, so I'm going to give him some tomato plants. They're black Krim, 3 or 4 black Krim, and a couple Cherokee purple, and then I think one Brandywine red. Just being nice to the guy. But that's it for now. Over here, I don't know what I'm gonna plant over here. I was thinking of doing my pumpkins and watermelons, but I'm kind of running out of room, and I'm thinking I may end up putting my corn over here from that concrete pad this way. But it's a weed patch and a half. That's all stinging nettle, if you can believe it. Every little bit of that is stinging nettle, and then some it's like a crabgrass, not really a crab, like a goose grass growing up in between it. This whole backyard is just full of stinging nettle. It's amazing. But anyways, next time I'm out and about, probably next week or so, I'll do another update, and everyone can see what's going on in my backyard. And yeah, my entire backyard is a garden. Crazy, right? Alright, talk to y'all later.